Right then.
Evening all.
Evening all on this, sunny Tuesday now. The weather's been atrocious since we got back from Edinburgh, which we'll talk about in a moment. But the sun's come out this afternoon, hasn't it, Paulie Morgan?
It most definitely has.
So welcome to everyone that knows us. So there's loads of people you can already see in the chat that do, and those that are new to our lives. Thank you for watching. We're Paul and Carole, and we love to talk about travel, don't we, Annie?
We talk about travel. We talk about all sorts of waffle.
We do. That's very true.
Angel's Delight, tea towels.
Yes.
Scotch
Who
eggs.
knows what will come up in the conversation?
Could be anything.
Could be anything.
Be anything.
So let's start off by just talking about this man, Sean McGrudden, who's just saying, if you have a question, please start with the question. Now, I've just had the best birthday weekend, and I'm going to sort of wind back a little bit, actually, just to say thank you to all those people that made my weekend special, because there was so many. Started off with a wonderful bouquet, not from Paul, from a lovely man.
I was wondering if I'd make it in the list of people who made it special.
So let me just...
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted there. I was interrupting Elephant then. So start again by thanking...
Yes, I want to thank Kevin Austin, who had a delivery of the most fantastic bouquet of flowers from Canada, which started off the weekend absolutely brilliantly. We then headed to London and met our fantastic travel agent, Dan, who I think I've seen in the chat, and the lovely Emma Cruises, who was a great friend of ours. And we went to theatre for two... What are you doing, Paulie? You don't. Yeah, look at the flowers. How awesome's that? Oh, so yeah, and then lovely Emma Cruises, who's a great friend of ours. I went to two shows in London, which were absolutely fantastic. We went to see MJ the musical, and we went to see Back to the Future, and they were both fantastic, but in very different ways, weren't they?
Definitely.
I'm sure if you want to see sort of more behind the scenes when we're not just talking about our videos and travel, then do check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, all the social medias out there, because obviously we post what we're up to as well, don't we?
MSN.
MSN.
What's the other ones from back in the day? I didn't do
any
of
that
them.
That was a search engine, I think.
Snap.
Chat. No. Anyway, so back to the weekend. So after our lovely day in London, we headed up to Edinburgh on the train, which Sean had arranged for us, and we weren't expecting to catch up with Sean and some of the patrons until the Saturday, because we'd arranged to meet up with friends we hadn't seen for 15 years. And Sean and Elizabeth surprised us at the train station, which is great, with a nice bottle of wine, some Thatcher's Gold, and also some crazy unicorn balloons that they presented us with, which was absolutely amazing.
They presented you with?
Yes, so that was a great surprise. And then we had the great weekend of just having lots of drinks, lots of fun, fantastic meals at Fazenda. I don't know if you're ever in Edinburgh, but there's a fantastic restaurant that Sean and Elizabeth recommended that we went with Elaine, who was there with another one of our lovely patrons. And we had, it's like a grill bar where you have all the meats that come around on skewers. And it was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it?
Fabulous. Big salad bar, choice of sides.
Yes.
And they come around with skewers, and for the lunch you get 8 different things on the skewers, and they give you little slices. And even though it's only little tiny slices, you can have as much or as little as you choose, because you pay the same.
And then we met up with our friends we haven't seen for 15 years, wasn't it? Chris, Evelyn, and Marie, and Avril, and had some fun with them. And then on our last night, Sean surprised us by booking a table at Fingal. Now, I don't know if you've heard about Fingal, but Fingal is a luxury floating hotel in Edinburgh that's right at the end of Leith, isn't it? And it was absolutely fantastic. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone that made my weekend special, because it was spot on, wasn't it?
It was.
It was brilliant. Took us yesterday. We come back to Gloucester, and we've 10 hours. Our bums were numb, weren't we, by the time we got back to Gloucester? So we had about 4.5 hours on the train. And then luckily a lovely bus driver on National Express let us on the earlier coach. So we got home about 9 p.m. instead of gone 10, wasn't it?
And our bums were so numb that, just like horses, we both slept standing up last night, didn't we? Leaning against a wall.
So just wanted to say thank you so much for the weekend. I got my book with all my notes. Remember everyone in the comments, please remind me to check, because I've got a few things to say. We're here to tell Carole to check book. See, that's my... See, everyone can read my writing. It's very tidy.
No, only you read that.
Because we're obviously here to announce we're cruising this week. We're home for a few days and it's a quick turnaround, and we're cruising this week with a new company that's on a very different ship, and we're going to 7 different ports that we've never been to before.
7 different countries.
We didn't say that.
1 different country.
So anyway, we're going to just have a check in the comments to see who's here and make sure that we've got 107. Well, just got over 200 watching now, so we'll just let a few more drop in because they normally do in about 10 minutes.
Once we get 1,000 thumbs up, we'll tell you where we're going.
So yeah, let me just check that. Yes. So let's have a look. Everyone's we talked about the weather and that they've got some sunshine. Gillian said it's now sunny in Shropshire. Andy and Carla are here. Lucy and Glyn. Kevin B. Yo-Yo from Poolside in sunny Long Island. He's just shared a photo on our Discord, on our members' Discord, and he has got a swimming pool. He's got 3 flamingos in there.
We used to be friends, Kevin, but they're going to start doing stuff like that.
So they're enjoying a lovely, lovely weather. And Andy and Carl has asked this question, but we're going to answer it in a moment. How do you feel about going on this cruise now? As I think you really had to be persuaded to go on it, didn't you?
We'll find out later when you know where we're going.
Yes, so Paulie did. It took Dan and I months to say, come on, Paulie, let's try it. So Rose is just saying that it's through 13 days until a 2-year river cruise and very hot in Budapest. So you'll love that. That's one of the best sailways on the river cruise.
It's fabulous. Yeah, if you do an evening sail away when it's lit up,
yeah,
it is spectacular.
It is. And Corinne's just saying Corinne's off to a pork pie making class in Melton Mowbray on Wednesday. Paul loves pork pie. He's a real beast, aren't you, for pork pies?
A real beast?
You are. And Melton Mowbray, that's where they originated from, isn't it? Might appeal to Paulie M.
I don't know if that's where they originated from.
But that's
a bold statement. I'd have to Google that. Google Claire. Is Claire in?
Yeah.
Where did pork pies come from, Claire? I know Melton Mowbray's very, very famous for pork pie, but I don't know if it's.
And Andy and Carlos saying they wish they were in Melton Mowbray in July and wish they had done that too.
So do I.
Rose said she's got everyone's doing cooking. Look, I have a cookery class in Slovakia to learn how to cook pierogi, the dumplings that look like pasties, don't they? Do you remember the sort of pasties?
You went so like
pasties.
You went so sort of Cornish then. Pasties. Like there was about when people, which I find a little bit annoying. I'm sorry, but when people try to sort of get across how excited they are about something, so they put 17 extra letters in. I love it with 19 O's.
Yeah, pause a bit.
Don't like that. No. But that's what Carole sounded like then when she said pasties.
Oh, dear. Yes, Dan the Cruiser is here. So that's good because Dan and his dad, Tony, lovely Tony, is joining us on this extravaganza. So it's good to see you all here.
It'll be the first time ever on a cruise that we've shared a cabin with 2 other people, wouldn't it? So I love this look because Carole was reading. So she has got no idea.
No, I'll give you a clue. Dan and Tony have got a far higher class of cabinet as us because we've booked for the first time actually the cheapest inside cabin we could get our hands on, haven't we? Because this is quite a bucket list type cruise, isn't it?
The only way we'd have got it any cheaper is if we'd have just had a sunbed on the deck.
Yes, and there is pools on the deck, isn't there? So that's exciting.
And I tried doing that, but apparently I wasn't allowed to stay there.
Sean's saying hi. Tracy's still sobering up after the epic weekend. We did sink a few, didn't we? But it was great fun. We've got to say a shout out for Elaine too, because Elaine had us in hysterics. And Elaine won't mind me saying, but Elaine's shorter than me, which I know I'm short. And we just had so much fun, didn't we? As she sort of catapulted herself out of the taxi.
Yeah. It was like the parachute regiment. I expected her to drop and roll and then stand up again, but she didn't.
We have such great fun with our patrons when we do our meetups. We talk online and stuff, and you always worry, we're going to have enough to talk about. Are we going to not have enough to chat about? But it's just brilliant. It just works so well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous. So everyone's saying, thought we were going to be late, thought we were going to make it. Chris Moran, not our cousin.
Not your cousin.
Evening, everyone's back from a fabulous 10-day cruise to Alaska on Queen Elizabeth, followed by a trip on the Rocky Mountaineer and ending up at the mind-blowing and beautiful Lake Louise. Yeah, it's you can't put into it, making me go goosebumpy thinking about our trip last July. If you do get the chance to do that and you've got the budget to do it, definitely do that. Alaska, Rocky Mountaineer, and that Banff area, because it is so special. And Will from the Shire is just saying, good evening, PC, and it's coming home. 2044, trust in Big Sam. Oh,
I was Big Sam would be 100 then, wasn't he?
I don't know. The football was depressed on the weekend, but it didn't spoil it.
It didn't spoil it,
But
and this is what I'll say, and then I won't talk about football anymore. I made my feelings quite clear about Gareth Southgate, and he stepped down today. And when you look back on that, you know, we've got us to 2 finals on the trot. He's got us to a World Cup semi-final. But at the end of the day, we've won nothing. And I feel that the group of players he's had at his disposal has been one of the best groups of players in my lifetime. And I stand by. I'm not going to get all doughy-eyed and gooey now he's gone saying, oh, yeah, you know, when I look back on it. The truth of the matter is he was a defender and he managed like he was a defender. We had far, far better players than Spain on paper and in the squad, and players that didn't even make the squad. But what Spain did is they utilised their players. They played as a team and they had a strategy. And Gareth's strategy is always, let's hope we don't lose and try and nick a goal on. When you look back on the tournament, all the times we sneaked through was with a moment of like pure magic and brilliance. And you can't count on that every single game, which is what in the end I think he was hoping for. And even when we equalised against Spain, we just sat back again. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about that. Best team won.
Yeah.
You know, si senor.
Si senor. So yes. Totally that. Just read through the comment. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Barbara's asking a valid question, which we don't know the answer to, but if someone does in the comments, do you know if P&O do a shuttle bus up into Copenhagen? We've not been there before, and we're going for our first time, obviously on a group cruise in May.
Yeah. So Barbara, if you can come back and ask us that question in about 10 and a half months' time, we might be happy.
Lots of people are also, we sometimes get messages about this, and Julia's asked, we have a TV picture in front of us, but I need the iPad as well, or cat message. If you want to join in the live chat, because we get a lot of comments afterwards, so I wanted to join the live chat and didn't know how to do it, then just go to the, you have to have it on your phone or an iPad or on your laptop. You can't live chat on the TV. So what most people do is have the TV on and then you have it just playing as well on your...
Apparently, and this is another useless piece of information because I don't know how you do it, but apparently you can give a thumbs up. A thumbs up.
Yes, it worked fully. Fireworks.
On your TV, but I don't know how. Somebody will tell you. Somebody tell you in the chat.
Tina's been cheeky. It'll take Carole to get here half an hour to get to this far the comments. 13 minutes. So no, half time.
Oh yeah, Tina
so let's
Weber,
just have a look.
Hang your head in shame now for casting aspersions on my lovely wife. Maybe as she's getting older, she's getting more efficient. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, because she's only a year younger than me now. Yeah.
I know, but only for what? How many weeks?
5.
Right then, we're off on P&O Venture on Saturday for 2 weeks to the Canaries. What's the best time for a cat nap and not to miss out on anything?
There's no bad time for a cat nap, in my humble opinion, but it is just times that Carole would want to avoid is obviously sailaways, because you love a sail away.
Sunset.
You love a sunset. We do like the entertainment. To me, unless it's a gala night, you can fit food in around almost anything. So that would, for me, would be the least of our worries.
Yeah.
Because we would always, gala night, we do like to go to the main dining room. But other than that, you can fit it in whenever you want. So really,
check the program.
Check your program.
As soon as you get in there and you can work out, there's nothing in that hour slot, you can have your cat nap there.
Yeah, what's the banging time that I really need to be up and at them, and then you just fit it around that.
So Ken Goes Cruising's here as well. So love to see you guys. I think you're going on a visit to Southampton.
You didn't even click on his name.
Well, I can't click on everyone's name.
Well, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Well, if I clicked on everyone's name, that's why I normally take half an hour to get where we're going.
I think you were ahead of schedule, so I thought you could do it.
Yes, I think Ken and Lindsay been to. There was a Clear visit which we were invited to see. I think it was Oceana, one of the Oceana ships. So I think quite a few people have been there today. So let's have a look to see this. We've got quite a few in here now. We've got 247 people here. How many thumbs up is there? Has it gone over 100? As you said
about 4.
About 4.
Yeah. I don't know.
Really?
4 thumbs up.
4?
Yeah, that's all it
Is
is.
that it?
Yeah.
I can't see it. Where is it?
91.
So come on, people. A few more thumbs up and we'll tell you all about our...
I said 1,000.
Oh, I thought you said 100.
Oh, I said 1,000.
Ah! Right, so let's see if there's... let's just scroll in here. Sonia's asking, I'm going on Sky Princess in November. What will the Bay of Biscuits be like? A little nervous, to be honest.
I'll tell you what, Sonia. I don't want to enhance your nervousness, but the Bay of Biscuits in November is going to be very, very entertaining, I would imagine. But you never, ever know, because we've been across there sort of that time of year, and we've got away with it. We've been across there when you think it's May, June, July. This is going to be lovely. And it's like a roller coaster.
It is. And for those that don't know, our nickname for the Bay of Biscuits is the Bay of Biscay, which I'm sure most people would be able to. But people that don't know that area might not know that. So I think.
But you never is as the song says in Pulp Fiction. It goes to show you never can tell, because you can't tell.
No, it isn't. But that time over the winter, obviously, there's more chance of it being a little bit more choppy. But make sure you just prepare. So if you are prone to seasickness, we always take some medication and do all the things that you need to do and pick a cabin. You may have already booked. So we just pick a cabin that's more central and lower. If you want to know about tips about how to prevent seasickness, go to our website. We've got lots of information on there about seasickness and stuff, and lots of other stuff too, aren't we, Paul?
Yes.
114 now. Woo!
My tip for the Bay of Biscuits is if you drink enough alcohol, so you're a little tiny. She's already poo-pooing this idea. She hasn't even heard it. Drink enough alcohol so you're almost a little tiny bit wobbly. If the ship's wobbling, the one will perfectly counteract the other, and you'll find that you'll be in sync, and everybody else will be wobbling around, and you'll just be like,
or you'll be the one that's doing like, you'll end up on TikTok as someone who's face planted the floor because you've had too much beer.
But either way,
so my advice would be not to do that.
Either way, everyone's a winner.
No.
But make sure you get somebody to video it.
Right then, I think it's time, don't you, Paulie, to announce where we are going. Is that your new drum roll?
That was actually the start.
Oh,
she got it.
What's that song?
Walk This Way.
Walk This Way. I did get it. Anyway, right then, let me get my posters ready. Reese, be prepared for this because I know Reese likes a map. So let's have a look at this. So check out, this is the ship that we will be joining with Mr. Dan and Mr. Tony on Friday in Rome. Badoosh. Look at that. Isn't she pretty?
And when I see that, the tune that comes to mind is don't know
that one.
Captain Pugwash.
Oh, right. I was thinking more O'Needon line.
Yeah,
but so this is called the Royal Clipper. It's a beautiful ship that's obviously got sails, and it holds just over, it's about 170. I should have written this down, shouldn't I? I think around about 170 passengers. Please, please let me know, Dan, because you all have, you'll know that. And we are flying out to Rome, and we are doing a itinerary that looks like this. Look at that. So we've got 7 days doing the Amalfi Coast and Sicily, which starts obviously in Rome. We go to lots of places that we'd never heard of, tiny little islands, Ponzo, Palmarola. We then go to Sorrento with optional tours to Capri or Pompeii, which we've not booked anything yet. We were going to just see how we feel, isn't it, and self-explore. We're going to Amalfi, where we've got friends, Bob and Holly, who are on another cruise that happened to be in port the same day, and catching up with them. 227 guests. Sorry, I was thinking river cruise then, wasn't it, in my head? So we're going to meet up with Bob and Holly in Amalfi. We got Taormina, which is Sicily, and we've got Lipari, and a sail-by from Stromboli, the volcano, and another little island called Gaeta. Or I think Gaeta might be mainland. But anyway, they're all, aren't they? What we've been to. Where have we been before, Pauline?
None of them.
Exactly. So
We have sailed past Stromboli because the first time we went past Stromboli,
yes,
you could probably take it off now and they can see our lovely faces again.
Maybe they prefer this.
Well, maybe. They were all gone now because we weren't looking at everyone is gone. First time we sailed past Stromboli, we were on the Morella
Explorer 2.
And they've got a wonderful lounge at the top where they have some entertainment in the evening. Indigo Lounge, or am I making that up?
Yeah, no, it was the Indigo
Lounge. It's not important for this story. And I looked out the window and it was starting to get dark. And I said to Carole, it looks like there's smoke coming out the top of that mountain. And Carole looked at me and said, don't be so blooming daft. You've had too much to drink. That mountain was Stromboli, and it was, it's always sort of erupting, I think, isn't it? It's always spitting. So it was having a little smoke.
Yeah. So yes, so that's we're going with obviously Dan and Tony, so we're very excited about that. I don't know if you want to go back to the question that we originally, let me go back to the original question, which I said we'd go back to Andy and Carla. For those that are joining us now, is that obviously our patrons and members have known that we're doing this cruise for a while because we all share things with them first. But this is what Andy and Carla said to Paul.
Thank you.
So how do you feel about it now?
This is how I feel about it. I'm not apprehensive is not the word, because that's sort of like I'm scared or whatever. It's not something that if I was given the choice would be massively high on my list of priorities. But looking at the itinerary, the ship looks fabulous. Is it going to be for me? I don't know. But what I will do is, even though I'm a grumpy old sod, I always enter into everything with an open mind. So I would do my best to have a good time. What I do know is regardless of what you're doing or where you're going, if you're with nice people, you could be sat in a bottom of a bin and you'll still have a good time. And I know with Dan and Tony, they're fabulous company.
Yes.
So I know I'm going to have a good time. The cruise might be rubbish.
I think it's going to be very interesting. When you look actually what's inside Royal Clipper, it's actually it looks fantastic, and we can't wait to show you around. Like I said, it's not a cheap cruise. It's one of those bucket cruises. It costs us about what, 2,300, just over that, £2,300 a person. But that includes flights for a week. But it's going to be very, very different and very unique. And I can't wait to experience it, because I thoroughly enjoyed our Sail Croatia experience, and I thoroughly enjoyed our river cruising, and I think it's going to be a bit of a combination of that.
It is, but I just want to say it's not a bucket list cruise for me because I didn't want to go.
No, I know, but for me to go on a ship like that, I think is just, and I know Dan and Tony feel the same, because obviously it was their idea. They had it booked a while back, so and it was just a time that we took months and months to talk Paulie into it. So there we are. So let's know in the comments below, if you're watching this on catch up, is it something that you would do? Is it something that you've done? If so, let us know your tips, and the same in the live chat. So I just noticed that Warren's here. He said he celebrated his birthday as well, but a few more years on you. Happy birthday! Hope you had a great one too.
Yeah, happy birthday, Warren.
So let's Linda saying she just booked a cruise on Princess in Australia in March 2026. I've been watching your vlogs on Albany and Busseltown for inspiration. Very useful. Yeah, Australia is just fantastic. I'm sure you'll have a fantastic time. For those that want to know where to find that information, you can find it on our Azamara Quest vlog series, where we did all the south of Australia. Pamela's asking about Asia. What cruise line do you recommend for Asia? Well, we know that there's Holland America Go, and we would definitely cruise on them again. The Princess Go, and we know that Cunard do it as well, don't we?
And Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean too as well. So it depends on what your interests are, Pamela. People ask us, say, what's the best cruise line for you? We don't know, because we don't know your interests. So if you like a more sedate sort of cruise, a more traditional cruise, we say go with Holland America, because it's not got the mad shows and stuff like that. No. But if you want sort of a bit more entertainment stuff, I would say go Princess, Royal Caribbean. And if you want to do it a little bit more traditional cruising, then I'd go with Cunard. So it depends on what your interests are. So let's have
but the upshot is you won't go far wrong if you go with any of those.
No, exactly. Manda's asking, we're on Voyager on 27th of July. Oh, lovely. What was your favourite venue on the ship, and is the exchange worth a visit?
We really enjoyed the Voyager, and I have to say, not the Voyager. considering it was a maiden as well, we had one small gripe, which was the one night in the main dining room. It was a bit like Keystone Cops, but generally over the whole ship, entertainment, food, staff, everything ran like clockwork, apart from that one occasion on one evening. The exchange, 100% is worth a visit. It's only like 15 quid, or it was when we went. It might not, it could be more now, I don't know, but it was 15 quid when we went. But yes, definitely book it. And we had to sort of twist a few arms to get into the exchange, to be honest. So make sure you book it early.
Yeah.
So
it was hard to get in, wasn't it?
We sort of guilt tripped somebody. We guilt tripped somebody by saying our app wouldn't work, but
no, it was anyway. I was going to say the first thing that came into my house. Yes, definitely the exchange, but I love the summer house right at the back of the ship. It's got a lovely aft bar. It's got, when the weather's not so good, it's a lovely area to sit. You've got 2 little restaurants which got great food on either side, haven't you? Got a boiler, and you've got nonnas. I just love that area at the back. Sean's asking, have you applied for the parachute regiment yet? Oh, that's funny. So Patty, they're having a heat wave in New England too, so everyone's enjoying lots of sunshine, apart from in the UK.
No, we've got one coming.
Well, and we were lucky with weather, to be fair, in Edinburgh the weekend. So
no, it says we got a heat wave coming soon.
Janet's just booked a fjords cruise with Holland America for next June. Thanks, Dan. Excellent service. Love Holland America. Yeah, they're a great cruise line. Really good. Mandy's saying she's loving our Japanese vlogs, by the way. So if you're not aware that we went with Riviera Travel in March to Japan, and we've currently got some videos out about that. So if you haven't watched them, then please do. We've got our episode 2 came out on Friday,
last Friday.
And we might have to do an all-nighter tonight because I'm trying to finish editing episode 3. So, and we've had some really positive comments about that. In fact, some of our patrons and members said that it was been our finest work yet.
It's a funny one because it's obviously, I think a lot of people look to us for cruising type content. But we do love a good land tour, and we had a fabulous land tour in Canada, and we had a fabulous land tour in Japan. Now, I can fully appreciate that if it's not your thing, then you might not want to watch it. But this is what I'll say to you. If you watch it, if you had no interest in going to Japan and you watch it, I wouldn't mind betting you a £5 that you'll want to go to Japan. That's how confident I am, because it was just so good. It was... I'm not saying it wasn't high up on my priority. It was always there, and I thought, I'd like to do that one day. But it all came along and fell into place at the right time. And over how many nights was it?
12.
12 nights. And I have to say, I'm desperately trying to think of something that I was disappointed with. And I can't even off the top of my head think of something I was disappointed with.
We're also putting together tips for traveling to Japan as well, about what we learned and what we, about etiquette and the social, how to behave in Japan, because it is a very polite, lovely nation, and there's certain things that are acceptable and certain things aren't. So that hopefully will be coming out in the following week. But also the other video that I just want to highlight at the moment is when we were in London, we stayed at the Strand Palace Hotel. And as you can see from that thumbnail, it wasn't very good. So if you haven't seen that video yet, that's on our channel too. And if you're planning a stay in London, then make sure you check that out, because we paid a lot of money and it was very disappointing, wasn't it?
It was very disappointing. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But the trouble is I don't know what everybody else is finding, but hotel prices seems to be just bonkers. Even for a rubbish hotel, it's £200 a night. So it is getting more and more difficult to find something that's value for money that sort of delivers. And when you book something, we stayed at the Strand Palace Hotel years ago, and they were doing a lot of work. But even though they were doing a lot of work, we had a fabulous time. But I mean, this was like in a shoe cupboard, and it was noisy, and
anyway, they can watch the video to find out why.
Watch the video.
So let's get back.
When you watch one of them,
we've got so many comments, Paulie.
When you watch one of them films and it's a court case, and somebody says something, and all the jurors heard it, and it's going to really make their minds up, and then the judge says, strike that from the record. So that's what I want you to do. Strike what I said from the record. Just forget your word.
So Claire's just saying pork pies originate from old England meat pies, but known for being more from Moby pork pies. See, we knew Claire would come to the rescue.
Claire's our saviour.
So Amanda's just saying, get a proper Moby pork pie, put a huge chunk of stilton on the top, wrap it in foil, and pop it in the oven on a really low heat for an hour. Oh, don't know. Oh, cheesy.
I can't remember ever owning the pork pie for an hour.
No.
It never landed.
Right then. Kevin B's just saying Tony better order his wine now, laugh out loud. Yeah, that's referring to as we travelled on Queen Anne with Tony and Dan, and poor Tony just whatever he ordered just didn't seem to come up. And it wasn't in St Samuel's, was it? It was around the ship. It was just comical.
Tony's taken a flask and a load of sandwiches.
Yes. So James Duff is saying as well, really enjoyed our Japanese vlog. So thank you so much. So question, would Aurora be a good ship for your first cruise out of Southampton? And what destination would you recommend, Rob, from Long Hope? Long Hope? That's only up the road. Oh, hello there, Rob.
Played football in Long Hope many a time. You have to have one leg about a foot shorter than the other.
Yeah, because it's on the slope. So, Aurora's a great ship and would be really good for a first cruise.
It is a great ship.
Yeah.
What I will say, it's a fabulous ship with loads of character. One of our favourite ships, and we've only been on there for 3 days. For a 3-dayer, but already that's how highly we regard it. But what I will say is, some people call it character. Some people will say poorly maintained, but things don't always work. But
toilets particularly,
but it's a fabulous ship.
Yeah.
And yes, I would recommend you doing it.
A destination we always recommend is Norway.
Yeah.
We've just been with Fred Olsen and it was absolutely fantastic. And that was our 6th time to Norway. So if you're going to Southampton, that's the first thing we'd always say, because it's just amazing.
And if you do a cruise to Norway and you think to yourself, then cruising's probably not for you.
Well, if you pick the right ship,
do you know what I mean? But I mean
if you pick the right ship,
but a Norwegian itinerary where you do.
But Norway on Aurora would be fabulous.
Yeah,
because
totally.
The aft on Aurora is perfect for Norway. Corinne said, "Have you remembered to check your book?" Thanks, Corinne. I have. I've ticked 2 off. Tony's asking, was Fingal worth it? Not been yet. It was. It's a fantastic setting. Service was on the par of the best service we've received on a cruise ship.
Oh, it was fabulous. Yeah.
Absolutely. The attention to detail was fantastic. The food was exceptional. It is expensive. It's £70 for a 2-course meal, £80 for a 3-course meal. But we would say it was worth every penny because, and the ship, you can have a little wander. They've got a big drawing room where they hold private parties and you can have sort of a big dinner in there. They've got a fantastic bridge area. Sean and I were spending ages going through the books that are in the bridge, just the history and all the photos. So if you love cruising and you love ships, then it's a really interesting place to go for a meal. And they do afternoon tea as well, which is obviously a bit cheaper. And as we've heard, is very good too, because Sean's been as well as for afternoon tea. Easy to find because when we got to Edinburgh, that was the other thing. We're like, oh my gosh, where do these trams come from? We didn't know there was trams in Edinburgh. We couldn't remember. I thought, oh, maybe we forgot because it was 15 years, but actually the trams have only been in place now and they go all the way out. So it's ever so easy. It costs us what, £2 each to get out there? It was just really, really so Sue's just saying, question, do you need someone to carry your suitcases? Thank you, but we're all right. Dan's taking the mick at me. Look, Carol probably has a note on the laptop that says check notebook. I don't have many notes around, do I, Pauline?
She said to me earlier.
Don't show details.
No, we're not showing details, but she said to me earlier.
What's on the back?
There's nothing on the back. That's a plain piece. I told her to write something down. I said, can you write this down somewhere because it's quite important? And I said, oh, did you write that thing that I asked you to? Yeah, it's here, love. It's in there. It's in there if you want to go through it. And then it wasn't in there. So then she gave me a notebook that's got no reference points whatsoever, and there's about 700 pages in it. She said, well, just have a quick look through there. I said, mate, I'd rather forget all about it, which is what I did.
Anyway, Bonnie's here. So Bonnie says, enjoyed your vlog, Japan. My husband lived in Tokyo for 8 months. Someday I hope to visit with my husband. Yeah, fantastic country, absolutely fantastic country. Oh, and also loved your Japan videos. Just booked transatlantic on QM2 westbound. Your vids from a few months ago helped massively. Yeah, we got a whole series on transatlantic and we had a fantastic time. So Mary's asking, for our first Norwegian fjords, we are booked Queen Anne, which is going to Skagen, Oslo, and Kristiansund, and we wonder if there'd be a disappointing itinerary. Well, you've booked a Norwegian and a Norway and Denmark cruise. That's not actually going into the fjords by the looks of that, but it's good to some fantastic places. Kristiansand we haven't been to. Kristiansund we have, and that was a little bit disappointing, but it was a rainy day, wasn't it? So I don't be disappointed because there's wherever you go when you hit Norway and Denmark around Scandinavia, and some fantastic ports. But if you are looking to do a sort of a real fjords cruise, then look for ports like Olden, Skjolden, Flam, Gerenga, Helsilt. Those because they're deep in the fjords.
Into the fjords, you get a lot of. When you get into the fjords, it's almost like doing a river cruise on a big ship. It's just miles and miles of wonderful scenery.
Yeah.
And you'll never tire of it once you've been there.
Exactly. Rachel's just saying, just back from a very hot Orlando, would a Florida trip appeal to you in the future? Yes, we were talking to Sean about it because Sean is a huge sort of Florida Disney fan and they go every 3 years. And last time we went, what year was it?
It was 2003. And the day before we flew home, England won the Rugby World Cup. And I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go and watch it.
Exactly. But yes, we definitely would. We've loved our time and we'd love to go back.
Even though I'd be the only person to go on a ride.
No, you would. Then I used to go on all the rides.
Because Carol's not tall enough.
Oh, I am. Ken goes through just saying, you don't need a shuttle bus in Copenhagen because you just walk into town. If you're at the outer dock on a large ship, there is a dock shuttle provided. Thanks, Ken. See, we always, if we don't know the answer, there's always someone lovely in our chat that does. Rebecca's saying she's just booked a cruise on Disney, going for the food and not the mouse. So let's have a look. If you want to just saying about the fjords, you need someone to carry your suitcase. Kate and Dave saying, your guys are what I need. Brought back a nasty cold and chest infection from Arvia. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hope you get better soon. Chris said, Paulie, the t-shirt that you should recommend to me to visit in Skagway sadly closed down. Oh, but all is well as I managed to pick up some cracking t-shirts to remember my holiday buy. Oh, that's good to know. Yes, you never know with shops, do you? Because they come and go with everything. Susan's asking, have we been on any Virgin cruises? Yes, we have. We've done 2, so do check out our videos about that on our channel and the information on our website. There were some really good elements and some that we weren't so keen on, or Paul particularly. But I would like to try another Virgin when in the future.
I'm not quite so sure.
So Catherine's saying, looking for something special for our 30th anniversary in 2026. Dan has come up with a fab cruise on Celebrity from Singapore to Tokyo. That's a great itinerary with stays pre and post cruise, open to other ideas. It depends on what time of year you want to go, Catherine. So I guess with Singapore to Tokyo, you're thinking over the winter months. And yes, I think that's a fabulous itinerary.
But having been to Singapore, I'm pleased to say, many times.
Yes.
And we're going again next year. And now having been to Tokyo and spent 4 or 5 days there, that's fabulous.
Yeah. Make sure you have at least sort of 3 nights either end, and I'd go even 4 nights either end, in it, if you're going that far. So particularly when you fly in, because you could be really quite tired. But other ideas, there's so many ideas, isn't there? So many parts around the world that we want to go to. With South Pacific, you could go to New Zealand, you could go to Alaska, you could do a lovely Greek cruise. So it depends on actually what time of year that is, because things won't suit.
But for a biggie,
that's good.
That's a good choice.
We're on Celebrity in September with Gary's Group Cruise. So we will let you know how we get on with that. And we haven't been on Celebrity since last year. We did Beyond, which we loved. But it's a solstice class ship.
Last year, was that 2 years?
Was it year before? Year before.
2 years.
So yes.
It's 2 years now. It was around about this time.
Yeah. Catherine's saying, I'm going on doing Bay Biscay in October, rock and roll.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Take your roller skates.
And Kate said they had Force 8 coming back across the Bay of Biscuit last week. Chop, chop, choppy. Yes. Yeah, Sean saying, that's another thing that I forgot to mention. I have to go to Sea Cadets, catch up later online. Hope your present made it back in one piece. Loved your face when I gave you a cylinder. Yeah, Sean and Elizabeth thought, well, I just get over how kind people are that they gave me a special scroll with that origins of my name, Slater.
Yeah.
Or my maiden name. So that was priceless too. So thank you, Sean.
Well, that was
amazing.
Many other things.
It was.
And I can imagine the cleaning ladies' faces at the Premier Inn when they went to our room and there was a giant unicorn in there.
I know. I thought we can't take that back on the train. So, but anyway, so Sonia's just saying, thankfully, booked midship, praying in advance for Bay of Biscuit. Thank you for your brilliant advice. You're very welcome. Let's just have a look down. Oh gosh, going too fast. Nick and Trace are asking, so have you done a Canaries cruise? If so, what was your favourite island? We have. And we're thinking about doing another one in November. We've got an eye on our cruise that I want to go with my sister. So
need some winter sun.
We will do.
Because we haven't had any sun this year.
Not in England. So I've always liked Madeira. Madeira is always really nice to have a wander around. And I really liked, we went to Santa Cruz in Tenerife, and I was pleasantly surprised because years ago we used to always holiday in southern Tenerife, didn't we? Go to like Los Cristianos, Las Americas, and Santa Cruz I thought was a real delight because it was very Spanish and it was beautiful, wasn't it, Paulie? And we thoroughly enjoyed our cruise to there.
We went there with our two dads, didn't we?
We did. So
time.
special memories from that.
Very, I know this sounds like a stupid statement because obviously it's part of Spain, but very Spanish and not touristy. So if you're into, like lots of tapas bars, if you want every other thing to be a fish and chip shop and the England's Glory pub and what have you, then not so much because that's like Playa and whatever. But I just found that it was you could really immerse yourself in the culture.
Yeah, it was Spanish great.
Culture. I can't believe we keep bigging Spain up. What's going on?
I know. So everyone's just saying, well, what a ship about the Royal Clipper. So yes, thanks. Philippa said, I was thinking O'Needle Line. Yeah. I got really itchy nose, sorry. And Andy and Carla said O'Needle Line. What, an itchy nose? Claire, that mean I'm coming into money?
No, I don't know. Claire, you always know these things. What does an itchy nose mean?
You got an itchy nose.
No, I don't know if it does.
Robert's here. Robert Neath.
Hey, Robert.
I usually see the Royal Clipper in Barbados. I saw her last summer in La Spezia.
Channel Islands' #1 blogger.
Yes. And Sharon saying, after watching all your wonderful vlogs, we just booked our first cruise, Norwegian fjords on Iona next April. Fabulous. Like I say, the fjords are just fantastic. So I can't wait to, once Japan vlogs are done, I should be doing our Aurora vlogs. And then I will be doing our Fred Olsen vlogs. Yeah. So can't wait to get those out because that was pretty awesome. Everyone's saying amazing that looks. Tina's saying, will you be climbing the rigging?
Well, I think it's obvious. I'm going to climb up there with my Insta 360
with your big pole
on the long pole, and I'm going to get the best footage ever. I've already signed the waiver.
Yes, we've had to sign.
Do you think they're going to? If I went up one of their main things, it'd probably snap off under my girth.
And your girth.
Yeah.
Dan says he can't wait for you two to crawl on the netting because at the front there's this big netting that you can lie on as you're going along, as you're sailing along in on the water.
Is it like the?
I can imagine trying to say, I'm going to video that because trying to see you two get on that.
Oh, is it me and Dan doing it?
Yes.
Oh,
me and Tony are just going to be like. Tony hopefully have had a glass of red wine delivered. I'll have had a glass of white, and we will just sit there and watch you two fools do that.
And me and Dan look like the supermodels off the Rio Duran video.
Adverts. Yeah. Oh, the video.
His name is Rio, and he dances in the sand.
I'll say fabulous itinerary. Yeah, we're really excited about being back in Italy. Italy is just a fantastic country, as I'm sure a lot of you know. And to do all these little places is absolutely, And the weather looks between 30 and 30 degrees.
And anywhere
33 degrees.
Anywhere that's not Spain.
Well, I'm not saying anything.
We love Spain. Still wild as
yeah, everyone's saying that's going to be awesome. So Frank and Jen, so thank you much. Oh, Gillian said it thought it might be a Hurtigruten. Do you know, Hurtigruten is on our to-do list, but not this
when
time.
When Carl keeps saying is on our to-do list, It's on a to-do list. It's not on mine, but then again, no, there's this one coming up. But I got a sneaky feeling I'm gonna have a fabulous time.
I think
I really do. And you lot are filling me with confidence.
Dan's saying as well, maximum full berth 227. Can't wait for the snorkeling stop to use the marina. Yes, apparently there's an area that drops down, a bit like on Sail Croatia, where they drop the steps down, that you can just go straight off the ship into the sea. So I can't wait for that either. I hope they got some rubber rings, mind, because I get a little bit nervous, don't know if it's really deep.
So I'll take my wetsuit?
No.
Oh, good job, because I'm
Flippers?
Flippers.
No. And Aoife's saying it's a proper oldie worldy ship. It is. So I think it's going to be a... Oh, Gillian's just saying, information. Got back from it on 6th of July. Take your own toiletries on the Clipper. No cider. Oh, that's it. Damn it, he's off. Ah! Enjoy the stairs. Go with open mind. Evening food. Yes, we are going with an open mind because I'm sure it's going to be very, very, very different. So thanks, Gillian, for that.
Yeah, thanks, Gillian.
Alison saying Taormina and Rome are the only place I've been from that list. Taormina is lovely, a lovely square, lots of lovely bars and restaurants.
Will there be any cider there, though?
Well, I'm sure there will be.
I might not wear it.
Dave says, how are you able to cruise so much? You look too young to be retired. Spill the secrets.
Well,
no
David,
secrets, David.
There's nothing wrong with your eyesight. Yes, we look incredibly young.
No.
Move on.
We've just, David, everyone asks this question so that, not being funny, but we worked hard all our life. We saved hard. I'm so glad that I paid into my NHS pension, and since I was 18. So I always had a plan to try and retire at 55. So I'm 58 now. Paul is 60 this year.
But I do have to point out that I haven't retired. But luckily, the man I work for, who's also very young and good looking, doesn't mind me having plenty of time off work. Who is it, honey?
It's me. Paul does a little bit of work with cars. We sells a few sort of used cars when we're home. And obviously now our YouTube channel and our website's getting quite established. We're earning some money from that too.
I think as well, and it's a very valid question, and you've asked it in a really nice way, saying we look young and lovely. We do get asked that question a lot, but sometimes in quite a snooty way.
Yeah. And
it is frustrating because Carole worked for 35, 36 years in the NHS. She paid massively into her pension, and now she's reaping the rewards of a very hard and illustrious career, I have to point out, because everybody she worked with just couldn't say enough good things about her. I'm very, very proud of her. I do still work.
Oh, thank you, Kenny.
That's all right. But the amount of hours that Carole puts in blogging far surpasses the amount of hours she's put in being a nurse. And I don't think people can comprehend how much work all this takes. And I'm not taking any, I put not a minimal amount, but what I put in, I would say is probably 10% of the 100% you say. And this lady's working her little butt off all the time.
Anyway, back to the questions, but yes. So I think, David, so thanks for asking the question, but yeah, but anything's possible. I think I put a post on when I retired on Facebook for those that are, I remember how unhappy I was toward the end of my career and I wanted to try something new, and I was glad that I was able to retire because I'd planned to retire. And it's just that, if you've got an interest or a passion, you just don't know what's possible. So just go for it, isn't it? Because you just don't know what the future holds. And starting our website and starting our YouTube channel has been the best thing that's happened. So that's because we meet all you lovely people. So let's see. Can't wait for Paul's toilet review on the Clopper.
I think that typo makes it sound even funnier. Exactly. On the Clopper.
And Nikki's saying there's also hop on hop buses in Copenhagen. And Paul and Louise saying they definitely do that cruise too. And Royal Clipper is the largest fully rigged sailing ship in the world. I know, it's pretty awesome, isn't it? So it should be absolutely the dreaded shower curtain and mirror on back of the door. So watch yourself sitting on the toilet. Be prepared. We met some lovely people though. Yeah, we've looked at our cabin and we know this cabin is small and it's not going to be to our usual space. However, we're prepared that because I've showed Paul. I said this is the cabin that we're going to be staying in. It's the lowest category. It's category 6, and it's got a small bed, bathroom, and that's about it.
Well, I only found out today that this is a shared bathroom.
No, it's not. No, we don't share bathrooms. God, nobody would get in it because you'd be in there all the time. So let's have a look. Cheryl said you should go on a cruise to Antarctica. We would love to one day, Cheryl, and it's just so much money, and it's just we've got lots of things
there's just 20 or 25,000 reasons why we don't want to do it.
No, I do want to go to Antarctica.
I know, but there's 25,000 reasons why.
Yeah. Tom and Donna here, just saying about the exchange. Hi guys, managed to see both shows. Same company do the bright lights on QA. Yeah, they're very talented, really talented, talented actresses and actors. In honor of your cruise, we just put our flights for 3 week land tour of Italy next year. Excellent. So Mike and Carrie are doing that. So yes, Italy's fantastic. Rebecca says she's made it. She's missed the last 3.
Oh, I hope she's got a note.
Gillian says you will be climbed. Will you be climbed to the cruises? They strap you in.
Oh yes. Oh, I do that. Yeah.
I won't.
Well, I know that.
So no, I won't do anything that goes high. And Striker McGuire is saying, "Are you going to vlog your trip on the sailboat?" Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Definitely. So let's see. So John says we are off around the UK on Regal Princess in 6 weeks. Get back, wash my s'mores, and off to Canada in the fall on Borealis for 26 days. Oh, fab. Regal Princess is a great ship. We had a great cruise on Regal Princess. Get back, wash, and off to Canada in the fall for Borealis.
Was that
Borealis?
Was that our first Princess experience on Regal? Was it Regal first?
No, I can't remember, but I know we had a good time.
Do you know, I say stuff like that. I think
with your dad because that's the one that's still got the crooners, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, because some of the princess ships don't have the crooners anymore. Kate and Steve say I stayed at the Strands Palace once, never again. I do recommend the Horse Guards Hotel. I always use Club Card rewards for hotel stay. Yeah, that's a good tip. If you do your Tesco rewards,
I never.
It's not. We never think to do that, do we?
No.
So Laura's saying that Greek hotel prices are crazy. We're looking for 3 nights in Fort Lauderdale. Crazy. I know, but for something cheap and cheerful near one of the water tax area.
Oh, it was bong. We had that was Miami, went on the holiday in.
Yeah, also Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, and we stayed there, and I have to say, it was cleaning up together, but it was so tired. The hotel, it was like falling to pieces. But the staff was lovely, and it did what it said on the tin. But it was like £300 a night or something, and
Yeah, the hotels around the world have gone really crazy prices. So yeah, it's just you've got to get what you can. Normally in London, what we do is the travel lodge, and the reason we didn't do the travel lodge in Covent Garden because that was over £200 as well, wasn't it, for that particular night? So it does depend on the night that you want if there's things going on. So it's very difficult to get something that's reasonable. Even Southampton, we've noticed something the prices of hotels have gone mad. So let's have a look. Tony saying Fingal's next to his office, hence why I've not been. Oh, right, so it's just across the road. Yvonne said they sailed on Star Clipper many years ago in the Caribbean and thoroughly enjoyed the experience. You're going to love it.
Oh, you're all giving me, well, apart from the little tiny toilet, you're all giving me a lot of confidence.
Exactly. Warren's saying, did you pet the moose in Christiansand? We didn't see a moose, did we?
Which was Christian?
The one where it poured with rain and we ran into the shopping centre.
Oh, no, we didn't pet anything, to be honest.
No, it was a bit of a wash. That was the one day that was a total washout on our...
What made it even worse is, I apologise if I've told this story before, but there's 2 statues, and I think one's called Fish Boy or something, and it was hammering down with rain, and I said to Carole, just video me stood by Fish Boy, and I'll make something funny up about, one's a fish boy and the other's a statue or whatever. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be great. So we stayed out in the pouring rain. Carole said, yeah, that's all lovely, mate. I videoed that for you. And then when we got back on the ship, I said, let's have a look at that video then so I can think of something funny to put with it. And all the video was of Carole's feet. I
forgot to press play. And then I pressed play as soon as I put the phone down.
So
I was just so wet and grumpy.
So I got a video of her feet walking back to the ship.
Exactly that. Emma's here. Emma, roads, where we go, we won't need roads. Yes. Back to the Future is fantastic. Emma and Dan have been, is it 5 times that you said you've been? And I can see why, because it was just...
No, Dan hasn't been at all. No, this was Dan's first ever outing, because I think Emma was a little tiny bit apprehensive, because Dan is the West End aficionado. If he hasn't seen it...
Well, I think Emma is too, because she's seen...
But Emma's seen it loads of times, but I'm sure it was Dan's first outing. I have to say...
It was fabulous.
I think across the board, apart from the weather that greeted us after the show finished,
yes.
and apart from the £24 that it cost us for one drink each back at the hotel, it was a fabulous night.
Yeah, it was. It was a very, like we said, if you get a chance to see it, it's very funny too, isn't it?
Yeah, it was good.
Very funny. Gillian's saying we're doing Canary Cruise and Saga next February. You're welcome to join us. Norway them first for our 40th anniversary in September. We do love Saga, and we've got nothing planned with them, haven't we, at the moment? Well, Alison's saying itchy nose is an argument. Oh,
is it really? Is it? Is that what it is? Is it?
So, yeah, and Claire's just saying an itchy nose means you'll kiss a fool. Well, or you'll have a Barney. Oh dear. And Tina's saying, what do you think about some people Spain Barcelona squirting tourists with water guns?
This is what I think. We've had this conversation before. I don't know what the economy is like in Barcelona, but some of these places where people moan about, the tourists coming here when they've got no economy outside tourism. I don't know if that's the case in Barcelona, so I won't judge on that. But I don't get Barcelona. Me and Carol's been to Barcelona a few times, and everybody raves about it, and we're like, really? Are we missing something? So
we need to go back.
We need to go back, because the last time we went there, we didn't tell a friend of ours who lives just outside Barcelona, and he did give us a bit of a telling off.
He did.
So the next time we go, we're going to speak to him, and he's going to show us what we're missing.
Yeah.
But obviously now we'll take umbrellas so we don't get squirted.
Yes.
Carol didn't even know about that, but
no, was it?
Yeah,
obviously,
it was in the news. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a bit. I don't know if it was either 300 or 3,000 people turned up, and they were anti-tourism. They were doing an anti-tourism march.
Okay.
But if it wasn't for all us tourists, the pickpockets wouldn't have nobody to prey on Los Ramblos, would they?
Anyway, Mike and Carrie are asking, sorry for missing about excursions included. No, they're not. So we're planning just to do our own thing, because it all looks, we've had a look at the islands, isn't it? We all think we've never been to these places before. And we always, whenever we're going somewhere new, we like to see what's right by the ship, so then we could give that advice to other people that actually there's nothing or there is. Catherine's just saying she's just had a land tour in Puglia. Stunning. Italy, my favourite country. Yeah, I can't wait to get back. Oh, Ken says, Nietzsche knows me, someone's talking about you. Oh dear. So we've got a few more minutes to go. So if you've got any more questions, please pop them in the comments there. So let's have a look. Jake said, I've been on the Hurtigruten Express boat, but that's more like a ferry than a cruise. Still fun, though. Don't know about the cruise ships. Well, Dan, our travel agent, Dan the Cruise, has just been on Hurtigruten on one of their expedition ships and said the ship was amazing. They didn't have some brilliant weather in Iceland. It was a bit rocky, rolly, but a lot of the time they thoroughly enjoyed it, didn't they? So Hurtigruten is definitely a cruise line that I would love to. If you're into nature and want to know all about that expedition type thing, so you want to be educated throughout your cruise of everything, then they sound perfect. Rome in 10 hours. Are you able to visit most sites, do you think? Rome's fairly... Oh, I just had a hiccup.
Rome's
fairly small.
Rome's fairly small.
No,
it's quite easy to navigate.
Yeah.
We did have we've only been to Rome once before, and we did have a bit of a mood trend, and we did get around a lot of the big sites, didn't we? No, I can't believe that.
We did.
I can't believe that one place though they haven't finished it yet. I mean, how long did we messed about?
Colosseum.
Yeah.
No, we were only there for a short time, so you can see a lot. Just have a plan, Mandy. Just look at your map and just do it in a logical order, and you'll be able to see a lot. Uptown Girls, that was a lovely tribute, Paulie.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
Carol wrote that down for me earlier for me to read that out. So make sure read that out, so I'll give you a $5.
So Wander and Paul saying over Nova Scotia with Canucklings and friends of the Cruise and Canucks. Oh, we love the Cruise and Canucks. So thank you for joining us, Wander and Paul. Nice to see you here.
We'll never have a good. I know Reese is desperate for us to have a name for our followers, but we'll never have good ones.
Not Canucklings.
Like the Canucklings.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get any better than that for any cruise bloggers out there. Will never get followers with a better name than
the
Canucklings.
We booked an even walking forward tour of Rome through Vieta. I was amazed and took each place that you wouldn't be able to book on your own. Yeah, that's a great idea. Greta's also or Greta is recommending the hop-on bus in Copenhagen. Ken says, yes, we were on Regal with you trying the cheeseburger pie, which was unforgettable. Oh, my God. Has anyone been to the International Cafe on a Princess Cruise and tried the cheeseburger pie? If you haven't, just don't.
No. I love a pie.
Yes, Paulie loves a pie.
I'm going to go on a tangent. I did have a pie in Edinburgh. It was awful. And that was about 1 o'clock in the morning. But enough said about it better. But I thought the cheeseburger pie, when I saw it, I thought this is going to be the future. Because what I thought it was going to be was, I didn't think it was going to be in a roll, but I thought it was going to be a cheeseburger, as in a burger with cheese, maybe some onions. I'm already thinking I want to make one of these. Burger, cheese, onions in a pie. That is going to be amazing. What was it? It was like a minced beef and onion pie.
Yeah, it was just mashed up.
And what I will say, the International Cafe is fabulous, but when it gets to sort of late at night when there's a lot of drunkenness and there's a lot of people queuing up for food, they never quite warm the food up quite enough for my liking. And it's always sort of lukewarmy type stuff because there's such a queue there. Say it's like, well, that's a minute and a half to warm that up. They give it like 45 seconds because they want to get the queue down, which I can sort of understand. But I'd rather just, it's hard to say, oh, mate, can you warm that up properly when you got 48 people behind you all baying for pies and sausage rolls and cake and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, and that was the first time.
Wasn't that the pie I put my finger in, Ken, and it was cold as well?
Yeah, it was, yeah. And I didn't even drink until I met Ken Goes Cruiser. Look at him now. He always tries to blame us, but I think you all know the truth. Ken and Lindsay are very, very bad.
They're great fun. And as we mentioned on our last live, we booked on there, they've got a group cruise. So if you want to go to us and on a nice French itinerary with Fred Olsen, with us and Ken Goes Cruising, then come along. Yeah. And that's after our Patreon group cruise, isn't it, in April 2026?
If you're not a fan of early nights, I highly recommend that you get on this cruise.
So, Vintage Visions is saying, a bit of a random question. Have you got the train from Civitavecchia to Rome? We haven't. And this time we've got a private transfer that Dan's arranged and included in the price of, obviously, the flights and the transfers and the cruise.
But I have been told that
it's not complicated.
It's not complicated at all. And it's actually,
as long as you've got enough time.
As long as you've got enough time. And I think it's pretty good value for money. But obviously, at the end of the day, I had this conversation on several lives. Everything is going up in price. Cruise excursions are just getting scandalously priced, in my humble opinion. But if you're going to not do the cruise ship excursion, there's excursion companies you can use that guarantee to get you back on time, or they guarantee to get you back on the ship, which are cheaper, or you can do your own thing. But you must give yourself enough time and allow for all eventualities.
Yeah, that's really important. Sarah W is asking, who do you recommend as a cheaper introduction to cruising? I've done Morel a few times, but don't have a budget for multiple trips. My best advice is to get into contact with our travel agent, Dan. You can go to our website, and we've got all our contact details on our booking page and also in the description here, because he will know at the time. Because what pops into my head straight away is P&O is great value for money, isn't it? But it doesn't tick all the boxes for people. But from an MSC, a great value for money, but they don't tick all the boxes. So it depends, Sarah, on your interests and what you really, really enjoy, how old you are, and what your expectations are. So it's best to sit down and talk with the travel agent. And Dan's been brilliant with us and with lots of people here. Yeah. So I would recommend doing that, because there might be also something that he spots that's not actually a budget line, but fits in with your dates. Right, yeah. Which we're not aware of, and he's great at doing that, because whenever I say to him, I'm going to do that, he said, but have you seen this? It's like,
it's almost like he's a travel agent.
It is. It's just
but what
like
I will
that.
say is cheap, often doesn't mean good.
Yes.
And like I said, one of the best value cruise lines out there, MSC, I think they're terrible. Carole thinks they're okay. She always tells me off when I say stuff like this, but it's just how I
I'm
think.
not telling you off, but I think
no, but it's like there's lots of people I don't like them.
Yeah.
There's lots of people like them. I don't.
Yeah.
I've never done Costa, but they say that Costa makes MSC look classy, so I don't even know where you go with that. But it's all horses for courses.
It is. It depends on your interests. Bonnie's just saying as well, stay in the Art Hotel in London this coming October 2 nights. It was pretty expensive. However, hotels here in Oregon have gotten so expensive. I think around the world, isn't it? It's gone mad. And Aoife's saying that she got a hotel in Civitavecchia.
Can as many people as possible.
I say it right.
Just keep saying Civitavecchia. Can you just put that? Even if you're asking about
Civitavecchia
pork pies, put Civitavecchia in the thing to make Carole say it.
For next year, for the night before my cruise, for €113, breakfast included. That's good.
Nice.
Emma's just saying, I told Dan, our friend, you'd depend on him liking the show. Oh, I'm glad it worked out.
Dan told me he thought it was rubbish.
No, he didn't, Emma. Oh dear. We are almost perfect on the Back to the Future film. Seen it a zillion times. Yeah, great films, aren't they?
So what's unusual is I love the Back to the Future films, and Carole's not that keen.
I enjoy them, but there's not something I want to watch again.
But the trouble is with me, I
thoroughly enjoyed the theatre show.
I do watch stuff to death, admittedly, and to the point where, films that I watch, I could almost say the next line, especially things like Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead and that sort of thing. But I love the Back to the Future films, and I just love how clever, because to do the 3 films, and they were virtually filming the 3 films all at the same time. And it's something that's never been done before, and it's something that will never be done again. So I thought it was just so clever, and how everything knits together is amazing. But the show, you've got to sort of know a little bit about the films, I think, to watch the show. But I think if you just went in there standalone and knew nothing, you'd still enjoy it. But I think it helps knowing a little bit about it.
The humour in the show I really enjoyed.
Oh, it's great, yeah.
And I think there's quite a bit of Mickey taken on stage. And I love that when you go to a theatre show and the cast are very easy with each other. And they've obviously been doing it for a while. And it was just great. It was absolutely fantastic. We had a fantastic day. I can't wait. We've got to book another one, haven't we, Emma and Dan? So we'll have to sort that out. So Striker's just saying, question, would you say Mark Twain was right, Carole, when he said, find a job you enjoy doing and you never have to work a day in your life? Exactly that. Exactly, in it, Paulie.
Mark Twain.
And Catherine's saying, yes, about the train to Civitavecchia to Rome. Very easy, relatively cheap. Download the Train Line app. It's easier. So that's helpful. People are saying about Barcelona. Tina said, I admit I didn't get Barcelona either, but did enjoy the tour of the football stadium. We did the hop on hop bus up to the stadium, didn't we, to see that?
Yeah, we didn't go in the stadium. I did go to Madrid Stadium when I was in Madrid. And I think Madrid is a far more interesting place to visit than Barcelona. Having done both.
Yeah.
And Carole, you've never been
Valencia, Joe's saying about Valencia was much nicer than Barcelona. I think one of the most beautiful places that we went to in Spain was Seville.
Seville, yeah.
Seville was stunning.
I had my haircut there.
And Craig, you had your haircut. Oh my God. Anyway, Morgan from Marianne Fisher has a good video on the train. Yeah, thanks for that, because it's always good to signpost people. And Morgan's great. If you haven't watched his videos, then I suggest you do. Emma saying Rome has 54 McDonald's, so it can be tricky to visit them all. Hey, do you know that random fact?
Because she's the biggest cruise blog lady in the world.
So Ian's asked when we're doing another camper van vlog. We've not got any plans, Ian, sorry, at the moment, because we've got so much cruise content to do.
What I will say, it's not going to be a vlog, but for my birthday, we are going away for 5 nights in our motorhome, and there will be lots of motorhome-based stories and posts.
But there won't be vlogs.
But there won't. I did start with saying there won't be a vlog. I put the disclaimer in, no vlog. But there will be lots of stories, maybe a few posts on Facebook or Instagram, and it'll be as we fastly approach Paulie Morgan's.
He says there'll be lots of
60th
stories. I say, if you do the stories for Edinburgh, oh no, not yet. Anyway,
What's your point? What's your point?
She said she loved the cheeseburger pie.
Well, Sheila, I don't think we can be friends anymore.
And Tom and Dad said they thought it was awful. Oh, Nick's asking about August the 3rd. We're visiting Mum's. Are you about? That's your Nationals weekend, isn't it?
Nationals weekend.
So no, sorry about that. But I'm sure we can sort out another date, Nick. No problem at all. Have a great time in Italy. We will. So, WrestleMania is asking, are you going on another river cruise? If so, where? First, become fans on your first river cruise video. May have answered this already. We haven't got another river cruise booked as yet, but we will definitely be doing another one because we love river cruising. But we haven't got any booked or on our itinerary as yet.
Because I was blowing my nose, when you introduced this questionnaire, I thought you said they were called WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. So sail with Gail and Mick. Oh,
sail with Gail
and Mike.
You still
here.
can do it.
I did.
Sail with Gail and Mike.
Yes.
Hi, we've all done a train from.
We've done the train from Civitavecchia to Rome a few times. Very straightforward. And make sure you head back a couple of hours before the all aboard time. Yes, definitely. You don't want to You don't want to miss the ship, is what she's trying to say.
But she's trying to read other stuff at the same time. So if you want to be mean to her, that's the time to say it. I think Kevin Benez wants to say something.
Time for me to make a splash. He's back in the pool. Have a great cruise. Civitavecchia Tito's. Strike said, did you know season 2 of The White Lotus was shot on very spectacular locations in Sicily? We did not.
Well, can you tell me this, Striker Maguire? I just put a question at the end. Is The White Lotus worth watching? Because I've seen it advertised, but I've never watched it. And since Carole retired, my TV watching time has been cut down drastically because then she realizes I'm not working. So I can only watch stuff now that's absolutely a banger. So is it worth it? Anyway,
I'm just looking at the time. It's gone mad, and we've just gone through so many questions. So sorry if we haven't said yours. Robin, just saying, such a fun, likable couple. I love your channel. Keep up the good work. So thank you so much for joining us this Tuesday. I've got a couple of things on my list, which I haven't. No, I haven't. I've got one thing. It's just about our next live. We don't know. Obviously, we're away on our Royal Clipper cruise. So we don't know when we will be doing our live because we haven't got the exact times of when we're in port. And we're hoping that there are some later evenings where we potentially could do a live because I don't think on this ship the Wi-Fi is going to be up to it.
Well, I think they've already preempted by saying don't rely on the Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Oh, I'm a poet and I didn't know it.
Yes. So make sure you're subscried to our YouTube channel. It's free. And and you'll come on.
Yeah, I'm not interrupting you.
And you'll see it'll pop up if you subscribe. It'll pop up to let you know when our next live is, or watch. Oh, no, you got hearts. That's cool. Anyway, so we're off because I got to wait.
Carole's got about 5 hours more work to do tonight, and that sofa ain't going to sit on itself over there, I can tell you.
Anyway, right then. Thanks for joining us, and we'll speak to you very, very soon. Bye for now.
Cheers all.